Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at a super cool Dodge Viper with a carbon fiber body, McLaren tuned engine, and a price tag of a supercar. This was definitely the rarest Viper ever made, and it's officially known as the 2006 ASC Viper Diamondback. This was a one-off concept, a one-of-one, where Dodge joined forces with McLaren and American Specialty Cars, which is the ASC, and the product was truly a one-of-a-kind supercar. I wanted to do a video on this car on its own, and not in a concept car video, because this car actually went up for sale, even if it was only just the one. So first, let's look at American Specialty Cars, or ASC for short. This was a company that helped develop many specialty body parts and a ton of cars for car manufacturers around the world, including Chrysler and McLaren. They started as the American Sunroof Company in 1965, and they actually invented the moonroof. They also converted many coupes into convertible models. But unfortunately, ASC isn't around anymore. They had a deal with GM to invest in and build the Chevy SSR, but that car had really poor sales, only selling 23,000 cars in 6 years. ASC filed for bankruptcy in 2007, and by 2017 the company was shut down. I've shown some of their work on screen as well throughout this segment. But why is ASC so important? They were the creative minds behind the Viper Diamondback, and they built this crazy snake. So let's get into the details of the Diamondback. This was first unveiled at the 2006 Detroit Auto Show, and it was a one-off based on the 2006 Dodge Viper SRT10 Coupe. ASC had two main goals when building this machine. One, to reduce weight, and two, to increase power. Luckily they had an 8-liter V10 to work with. It was never stated outright in my research, but I do believe that this was an engine similar to the Viper V10 engines from 1996 to 2002. They also used the 8-liter V10. And then McLaren Performance Technologies specially tuned the engine, bumping it up to 615 horsepower. Where did McLaren come into this equation? Well, Chrysler was merged with Daimler at this time, and they owned Mercedes-Benz, which was tied to McLaren. And this V10 engine was paired with a 6-speed manual for the Diamondback. Along with that engine, ASC had a patented Omni-Carbon process where they used compression molded carbon fiber. There was a custom carbon fiber roof, deck lid, front splitter, rear fascia, side rockers, side venting grills, and interior pieces. The hood was also carbon, with a trumpeted air intake system with 10 individual port throttles coming right through the hood, and all this carbon fiber was for a purpose, to save weight. For example, the newly designed hood was half the weight of the OEM Viper hood. Overall, by doing all this, the weight of the car was reduced by 85 pounds. You'll also notice a racing stripe running along the hood, roof, and trunk. This was carbon fiber as well. It's hard to see in some of the pictures, but that racing stripe has two thin pinstripes along the outline, one painted in McLaren red color and the other in Viper blue. And the body color of this car is Arctic Ice Pearl. Looking at some other features of the car, the suspension was lowered by 1.25 inches, there was a custom stainless steel quad outlet exhaust, 4-point racing harness, and custom 3-piece forged and painted 19-inch aluminum wheels. Tires were huge, with 275s up front and 345s in the rear, and the Diamondback also got Brembo brakes. All these efforts get the Diamondback from 0 to 60 miles per hour in only 3.5 seconds. As I said before, the Diamondback was based on a 2006 Viper, which had 0 to 60 times around 4 seconds. So while it may not be a huge drastic change, ASC did a pretty good job and they improved the 0 to 60 time by around 13%. Now on to the question that everyone's asking. How much does this one-of-a-kind car cost? Well, it was put up for sale on DodgeVipersForSale.com in 2009 with a price tag of $295,000. Unfortunately, I'm not sure who bought it and have no clue where in the world this thing has ended up now. But I do know that it cost ASC $750,000 to build, so the buyer was paying $455,000 less than what it cost to actually make. So that's not a bad deal when you think of it that way. And at the time of the sale, the odometer had only 55 miles driven on it, so that's a hefty depreciation of over $8,000 for every mile driven. There were once rumors to produce more of the Diamondback, or even have it replace Viper models in the Dodge lineup, but by the end of this, it was the only Diamondback that was ever made. So now you've reached the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing about this awesome Viper. As a car and Dodge enthusiast, I found it really interesting to see what this model was all about. It really is one of the rarest and one-of-a-kind Vipers you can find, since there's just one of them out there. Let me know if you think that price tag was worth it for this Viper. If you had that kind of money to spend on a supercar, would you go for this? Make sure to like and subscribe for all your Mopar content, and I'll see you next video.